Good morning, here is Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update on Tuesday the 17th of October. S&P 500 tried to get back into the gap area here between 43.75 and 4400 and a change. It really needs to close above this gap top here at 44.0102 to establish an uptrend, and even that can fail with the falling trend line coming down here and with the cloud as you see here. So a little bit of struggle. We also have 55 moving average coming down, so it looks a little bit of a struggle to actually turn this around. But let's see the next couple of days. Nasdaq 100, a little bit different here, still below the falling trend line, below the cloud. That is key. It needs to close up both for a bullish trend, and I would like to see it actually close out also above the spike up here, 15,334 a couple of days ago. If we see that, then we have built an uptrend. On the European markets, still looking weak across the board in Europe. Stocks 50 not really doing much after being rejected at the falling trend line and below the resistance at 42.10. The DAX index bouncing a little bit today, but it's still in this range here, and we are in a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. And when it couldn't really close above the 15,482 level, that is a sign of weakness. We have AEX bouncing a little bit this morning, but there's a strong resistance coming down here from the 55 moving average. It really needs to close above 750 to get any meaningful uptrend potential. So that's what we should look out for. And we could basically be sidestepping between 730 and 750 for a little while here. But of course, ASML numbers that I believe is due this week could give it a little bit of a upside or downside momentum depending on the numbers. Belgian market still holding up above this little gap area here. Let's just add this. So here we have it. So that's the gap area. Oops, sorry about that. There it is. 35.79 is a bit of a resistance here. It could take out, but we do have 55.100 coming down, so it doesn't really look that good. We have the CAC 40 also in a bearish trend, bouncing a little bit. It actually did close this gap area here, and I think we will trade lower in the coming days. And finally, a very quick look at the Swiss market. Didn't really close the gap area here. If it does close below the 10,837, it has closed, and we are likely to see lower levels on the Swiss markets. On commodities, so let's start with gold. We have this falling trend line here. Seems to be rejected. It closed more or less bang on it a couple of days ago. Trading below the cloud. We need a close above, but I would actually also prefer a close above 1947 around that level here. Then we will have a back in uptrend. But a good indication is that the RSI is actually bullish. It did close above above 60, and that indicates there could be more upside to gold. I think we'll see a little bit of a setback here the next couple of days, just in a little bit of a correction phase. But then we could have another go at the falling trend line and these resistant levels here. So look out for that one. Silver. Also a little bit sideways stepping here. Maybe they will test the 22.15 again before we could potentially have a move towards the 23 plus levels, but we really need to get back above the 23.75.80 for getting any upside momentum also on the medium term trend. Copper doing some interesting trading this morning. Really testing the 354.50 support level. You can see here, we talked about so many times why it is such an important level. if we are closing below on copper here on that level, then there could be a further downside towards the 325, 315 area down here around that level. However, if it does hold above, we can see a bounce towards back to the 370 level. On the WTI, we have the crude oil got rejected at 88.20 this morning, and it really needs to close above that for upside momentum. The Brent oil didn't really get close to it. It was about $1.02 from it, a few cents from it actually, 91.81. It needs to close above that for upside momentum. So I still think we will see a range trading behavior here. And then we have the 10-year yields. Seems to be resuming uptrend here, and currently testing the 61.8 retracement around the 475. I think we will see it move higher. I still believe, if you have read my article about a week ago or so, that we are looking at 5% possibly higher on the US 10-year. I did a little bit backwards here, so now we are getting to the FX markets. The FX markets is fairly calm at the moment. Your dollar, after being rejected here at the 106.35 resistance, it seems to be range bound. So let's see what happens when it touches this falling trend line again. Can it actually break above it? That could give kind of an indication. But it looks fairly heavy. The interesting thing, though, is that there's still divergence on the RSI, indicating we should see a larger correction. But it doesn't really seem like, it doesn't look like we can get the buyers or bulls to really get their act together and move higher. But keep an eye on this falling trend line, and especially 106.35. On cable, we have it was rejected at 123, hovering around the 122 level here, really. I don't think this support resistance line is that meaningful anymore. We should see a correction higher here in the coming days towards 124.5, maybe 24.75, but there will be a lot of overhead strong resistance with both the 55 and the 100 moving average coming down. So it would merely just be a correction. I feel fairly confident about that. The dollar yen, still trying to get closer to the 150.16 peak here. If it takes it out, well, then there's room up to around the 152, the previous peak here from last year around this time. So now something to look out for. Euro yen still in this range bound here. It's becoming really boring after talking so much about it. Also yen. Also range bound here between 93.5 and 95.85, the really key resistance level there. We can remove that one. So we are actually in this range trading scenario there. Finally, on the dollar index, we have still the 105.34 support that is key. Will it break? If bears can push it lower, then we are looking around the 104.45-40 level here as a very strong support. Other than that, if it can't really get down there, well, then we are looking at 107.90. All right, that's all for today. A little bit mixed up here where we ended with the FX, but I hope that you liked it. Tomorrow I plan to be back to the normal ways. Thank you very much for listening. Happy trading. Have a nice day.